What's up everyone and welcome to the club. In today's video I'll show you step by step on how to create a portrait illustration of the Joker. For today's lesson we'll need some white paper and a pencil. I'm going to start my drawing with this 0.7mm mechanical pencil with a 2B graphite stick. Now I want to start off with the basic shape of the head before we get into the details. So let's start by sketching a line coming down the center. We're going to start from the very top in the middle. I'm just going to lightly work our way down towards the bottom. And this line will help us with the balance and symmetry of the face. Let's go back to the center and draw another line going across from left to right. Now I'm going to be using these two lines to help us create a circle in the center of our page. So from that center point, let's move up. It's going to mark off the top of our circle right about there. Let's measure that distance from the center down towards the bottom. And then we'll repeat that across this horizontal line. So measuring the distance from the center down towards the left and then down towards the right. Let's connect the center point of each mark with a curve to create our circle. So we're going to start with the top left. And the circle doesn't have to be perfect. You can go back and just modify the shape. We just want to capture the right size and placement in the center of our page. Let's move out to the side of our circle, draw another line coming straight down towards the bottom. And then one more guideline across the bottom of our circle, going across from left to right. Now that we set up our drawing with our guidelines, we're going to start blocking out the facial features. Let's start by adding a gap in between the eyes. So from the center line along the bottom, move over towards left. Just going to go straight up and bend that in. Do the same thing on the right. And then from the bottom of that curve, it's going to go up and then bend that out towards the side of our circle. And this will be the bottom edge of the eyebrows. From the bottom corner of the eyebrow, let's step out, angle the eyes going up and out, go out, and then bend that down towards the outside. Now from the outside, I'm going to bend the eye coming down and then in. From the center of the brow, let's move down and draw a circle for the tip of the nose. And then from the outside of the nose, draw two straight angled lines going up and out across the nostrils. And we'll connect the ends with another curve, going up the middle and then back down. From the tip of the nose, let's step down and add a curve for the mouth, going across. And we'll bend the mouth on the ends, going out and then up. From the corner of the mouth, bend this in and then down towards the bottom, and then round out the bottom of the mouth. Now when you go back to the corner of the nose, draw a straight angled line coming across towards the corner of the mouth. Let's angle this down and in towards the chin, to right about there, and then we'll round out the chin. Now when you go back to the eye line, we're going to angle the head coming down and in towards the jaw, to right about there. Curve this in and then down towards the side of the chin. Now we're going to go back up to the top and draw two half circles for the ears. Let's line up the brow and go out and then back in towards the side. Now we want to move to the center of our circle and draw the edge of the hairline. Let's start with the left. We're going to go up and bend that out. Now on the right side, we're going to bend this across and then pull that up towards the top of our circle. Now I'm going to rough in some detail across the collar and the shoulders. From the jaw, let's angle this down and in across the inside of the collar. Go up along the side of the jaw, bend this down and out. Come down and then in. And then going back up to the top of the collar, we're going to curve the shoulders, coming down and then out. Now let's go back and add some shape to the hair. We're going to start right in the middle. We're going to curve the hair, going around, and just pull that up towards the outside. Go up and then in towards the top of the head. Curve around, down towards the ear. Now it's going to curl the hair around the ear, starting from the side of the head, going out and back in. Let's add a few more layers, going around the outside. Add one curl on the inside. Now let's draw on the right side. Starting from the side, I'm just going to bend this out and then down. Go around the ear, back in. Let's add a little bit of volume on the outside and a few curls. And now that I have the rough sketch in place, let's go back and erase some of these guidelines. Now I want to use a rough sketch as a guide to help us layer on some more detail and refine the shapes. And I like to start back at the eyes. Let's start with the inside of the brow. Just adding that fold and enhancing the shape. Let's add a slight curve in between. And we'll just work our way across the eyebrow. Just giving a bend, going up towards the top, around the eye, and then out. Just add some thickness to the eyebrow, going up toward the top. Now going back and adding some shape to the upper eyelid. And the bottom of the eye. We're going to come back and draw in the iris and pupil ring after. Let's continue with the inside of the eye, adding a fold at the edge of the nose bridge, going around. And we'll add some shape to the nose. Go around the nostril and then down. Extra fold. Now we're going to add those points across the bottom of the eye. Just trace the eye along the bottom and then pull this down towards the point in the middle. And we're going to go back to the mouth. Now I want to add the top row of teeth, so we start with the shape first. Start with a curve going across and up. And we'll see the bottom row of teeth just along the edge of the mouth. And we'll lightly separate the teeth. So a line for the lip. Round out the jaw. Now I'm going to go back and add that paint across the mouth. And pull this up a little bit higher on the left side. Go back and add a few wrinkles. Now I'm going to add some wrinkles across the forehead. And block in the sideburns and just tuck the ears in behind. Just adding a little bit more shape. I'm going to add a little bit of texture to the hair, starting in the middle. Just going to work with the flow of the hairline. And go back and just lightly trace in the iris and pupil. And we don't want to bring them in too close. We don't want to make them look cross-eyed. So we're just going to lightly sketch this in first. And a little highlight. Then just darken up the center of the pupils. Now we're going to go back and just clean up our drawing one final time before we add in our contrast and shading. Now we're just going to move in with a different pencil. I got my 0.9mm. I'm going to go across the eyebrows and just darken up the contrast. Also adding some texture. So from the bottom, I'm just going to darken this up and just brushing the eyebrows out. Going up and out. Going up toward the top guideline. And we'll just work our way down along the side. And from the eyes, we're just going to work our way out. So we're going to add some more wrinkles on the side. And just shade in the bottom edge of the brow. Now I'm just going to darken up those points along the bottom. Let's add a medium shade to that paint going across the top of the eyes. Now we're just going to break it up across each of those wrinkles. Just leaving a small gap. We'll do the same thing on the right. I'm just going to darken up those wrinkles. Now the nose is going to cast a shadow coming down towards the mouth. You want to bring this down in an angle towards the right, and then just fade that out. And you always want to darken up the base of the shadow. And we're just going to darken up the inside of the mouth going around the teeth. Let's go in and darken up the inside of that mouth paint. As you come up to the lip, we just want to add a little bit of a highlight along the top. And some more shadow across the bottom, so we're just going to darken up the area along the bottom. Now we're going to go out and just start modifying the shape of the head. So we're going to start with the jawline. Now with the hair, we want to start darkening up the bottom edge just to create a bit of a shadow and texture. I'm going to leave some of the area in the middle to create a bit of a highlight. I just want to brush the hair in towards the side of the head, towards the temples. And then from the top, we're just going to bring this down. I'm going to switch to the side edge of my 2mm mechanical pencil and add some more shadows. So let's start with the hair. And we're just looking to darken up the contrast and the tones. Also filling in some of the blank areas. So we just shade that in. Just pushing some of the hair into shadow across the side of the head. Add a shadow just underneath the head across the neck and collar. Now as we get closer to the end, I'm just going to tighten up my shadows and add a little bit more detail, and always be sure to sign my artwork, and that's pretty much it. There's a sketch illustration of the Joker. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. If you did, please make sure you subscribe because I'm posting new lessons every single day. I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you again soon. For today's lesson, we'll start with this 0.7mm mechanical pencil with a 2B graphite stick. Now I want to sketch a line coming down the center of a page to help with the balance and symmetry of our drawing. So let's start from the very top. I'm just going to use these short lines. Just going to lightly work our way down towards the bottom. Now let's go back to the center, draw another line going across from left to right. And this is the line that we're going to place the eyes on. Now that we have our two lines in place, we're going to use these to help us create a circle in the center of our page. So from that center point, let's just move up towards the top. Just going to mark off the top of our circle. Let's take that same distance from the center down towards the bottom. Mark off the bottom of our circle, right about there. Now let's repeat that across this horizontal line, measuring the distance from the center over towards the left, and then the right. Now the further these marks are away from the center, the larger the circle will be. So you can define how large you want your circle and your portrait drawing. So let's connect each of the center points with a curve to create our circle. So I'm going to start with the top left, and we just want to rough this in. The circle doesn't have to be perfect. We're just using this as a guide. Again, to define the size of the head. Just go back and just smooth this out. Let's go to the side of our circle, draw another line coming all the way down towards the bottom. And then we'll extend that all the way up towards the top. And then these are going to help us guide the side of the hat. Now that we have our circle and our guidelines, let's start blocking out the facial features. We're going to start by adding a gap in between the eyes. So from that center line, let's move over towards left. So somewhere around here, just going to mark that off. Let's take that same distance over towards the right. Now from this point, we're going to draw the top of the eyelid. Let's go up. And then bend that down towards the side. Do the same thing on the right. Now let's draw the bottom, coming down and then up, almost like a football shape. Now I want to enhance the expression of our character, so we're going to lower the left brow and raise up the right. So starting in the middle, let's go across on top of the eyelid, and then bend that down towards the side. Now go back to the center, we're going to raise this up higher, and then bend that all the way down towards the side. From the outside, we're going to trace this down and then back in towards the inside of the eye. Now lining up at the bottom edge of the eyes, we're going to step down, draw a straight line going across the middle. And I want to pull this down towards the center, towards the tip of the nose. So I'll bring this down all the way down to right about there. From the tip of the nose, we're going to angle the mouth, going up towards the left and then down on the right. Flatten off the left side, go across, and then bend that up towards the right. Let's go to the side of our upside down triangle. It's going to curve this around the mouth and then in. Let's connect the bottom with a curve, going up towards the mouth and then back down. Now from here, we're going to step down, just locate the chin, somewhere around here, just draw a straight line going across. Now let's go back to the side of our circle. It's going to curve the head, coming down, and I just want to bend that in. It's going to round out the jaw, pulling that in towards the chin. In the center of the mouth, let's draw a straight line going across. Now we're going to draw this large cigarette going out towards the left. So let's start on the left side of the mouth, draw a straight angled line, going up and out to right about there. Flatten this off. I just want to taper it so it gets a little bit narrower, coming in towards the teeth. Now we're going to place the hat brim on top of the brow. Let's start on the left side of our circle, step out, come in. I'm going to bend this up on the right, and then bend that back out, just extending beyond the side of our circle. Let's round out the side, just pulling this up towards the top of the hat brim. I'm just going to trace this across, going up towards the right. Now I want to give the side of the hat a slight bend. So from the sideline, we're going to step in, we're going to go up, and then bend that out. Do the same thing on the right, going up towards the top of the hat. Let's close off the top with a curve, going up the middle, and then back down. Now I'm going to add that band across the bottom, starting from the top of our circle, go across and then down towards the sides. Let's add some shape for the hair coming out from underneath the hat brim, starting on the left, bend this out, and then down. Do the same thing on the right. Now that we have our rough sketch, we're going to go back and clean this up by erasing some of these guidelines. Now that we have our clean rough sketch, we're going to go back and modify the shape and add some more details. Now I like to start with the eyes. We start by enhancing that fold in between the brow. Just pulling that up in the middle. Enhance that fold in the center, coming in across the bridge of the nose. Now I'm just going to work our way across the top of the eyelid and the brow. I'm just going to extend some wrinkles going out. And just adding more wrinkles across the bottom. And that large thick fold along the bottom of the eye. I'm just going to lightly trace in the outside of the iris. We just want to get the right placement. And once we're happy with the placement, we'll go back and just darken that up. Now we're going to go back down and just add some more shape to the nose. Start by rounding out the tip and working our way up towards the nostrils. Also adding a little bit of a shadow line in the center. Now before we go any further, we're just going to add some more detail to that cigarette, starting from the tip, because this overlaps the mouth. So I'm going to start with this first. Just work our way in towards the handle and in towards the teeth. I'm also going to add a little bit of shading to that stick. And then we're just going to add those dirty teeth underneath. So starting with the top row, just adding a slight point on the bottom edge. And also enhancing and darkening up the gum line. And go back and add a little bit of thickness to the upper lip. And lightly shade that in. And just overlap those wrinkles on top. I'm also going to add that monocle on top of the right eye. So I'm going to start by sketching out an oval, going all the way around the eye. I'm just going to go back and just darken up the edge. I'm just going to add a little bit of thickness. I'm just adding a little bit of texture to the outside of the hair. And now we're going to go in and start adding some shadows. Let's darken out the bottom of the iris, and then just fade that up towards a highlight, adding a highlight on the left. And I'm just going to darken up the eyelid, adding that shadow to push the eyes in. The nose is going to cast a bit of a shadow above the mouth. And we're just going to darken up those folds and just soften up that shadow, going out towards the top and bottom. Now with the hair, I'm just going to lightly shade this in using the side edge of my pencil. I'll come back after and add some more detail. Let's add a shadow just underneath the head, going across the body, and then blend that down. Now I'm just going to go back and just darken up the inside edge of the hair, and then fade that out. So the shadows are a bit darker along the side of the head. And then we're going to add a rough shade to the hat along the top, not getting too detailed with this. Now in this final stage, I'm just going to go back and add a little bit more contrast to our shadows. So I'm going to start back at the eyes. Now let's add some texture inside the hair. Just curling the hair along the inside, and just darken up the inside of the shadows. Now, as we get closer to the end, I'm just going to tighten up my shadows and add a little bit more detail, and always be sure to sign my artwork, and that's pretty much it. There's a sketch illustration of the penguin from Batman Returns. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. If you did, please make sure you subscribe because I'm posting new lessons every single week. Be sure to smash that like button and leave your requests in the comments below. I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you again soon.